Ruto must go.
E?
Ruto must go. The Kenyans have spoken, the youths have spoken. Africa is mainly young people. Mainly young people. That's to say that we should not respect the elders or anything like this, but the Kenyan have spoken. They are on the streets. They're fronting their very own policemen. The army are even refused to go on the street against them. People know it is not by overtaxing pads for women that the country is gonna get better. That's not the truth. Ruto need to start to discipline capital. Stop giving everything to foreign capital. Stop giving them whatever they ask for. Start to give what your people ask for. Ruto must.
After all, he's a hustler. His campaign was,
He has disappointed.
I am a hustler.
No. This is a campaign. He has disappointed people. Hustling or no hustling, how can you explain that your entire population is in the street like this? Now you're shooting at them. That's
But when he said the people have spoken, the people spoke also 2 years ago by voting him.
They vote him because exactly of what you say. He
Hustler.
portrays himself.
Yes.
The problem is with new technology such as this video. Now everything is capacity. There's a lot of capacity around, right? So for me to make fake news, make a political campaign, it's really easy. Imagine if we make a strong political campaign here in Uganda, right? What type of lie do you think we can pass to the people? Because we haven't been president. Only Museveni can't lie. We know what he has done. You know? Ruto, we know what he has done now. But before he reached power, he can lie. And the problem is that with elections that are highly financed. So let me tell you, Ruto was financed by really rich men and big men that knew he's going to follow the agenda of the bourgeoisie. He's going to enrich the bourgeoisie. He's going to make the bourgeoisie of Kenya richer. That's why he has a lot of struggle with Uganda. Ugandans have understood that Ruto is playing against them. Museveni got that now. But at the beginning, he used to tell us ABCD. Before he reached power, you can say everything. Right now in front of this camera, I can tell you I will implement ABCD. Universal basic incomes for all, one border for every fathers and every kid in the school. It's easy to say. It's easy to say.
But when you go into power,
But when you need to deliver, and we have seen him delivering, what has he delivered? He has delivered plane tickets.
but the man has just been in power for 2 years, Mr. Lesaffre. Mr. Lesaffre,
In Kenya.
2 years only. What do you want him to deliver? Can he build a country in 2 years?
You're telling me that this by improving the tax, at least us in Uganda, what have we done? What have the president done? He has put tax on traders. Traders make money. There's money coming on. Now the new bill says like pads for women. Pads for women are going to be taxed now. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? How does the woman doesn't have the choice to wear their pads? The traders, he has the choice to go to work or don't go to work. If he don't go to work, he doesn't pay his tax. If he goes to work, he has to pay his tax for the country. We want development. We don't want like what Ruto
In France, don't women pay for pads in France?
There's
Isn't
no
there a tax for
No, it's untaxed.
the pads are not
Untaxed.
taxed?
This is not something that can be taxed. You don't tax food, you don't tax pads, you don't tax what people use every day. Because then you become a problem. You tax the people that make money. You tax the people that make money. Those are the people, you take a share. Why is it that the capitalist of Kenya or Uganda makes money? Because of the roads, the nice road of Uganda. Because of the harbor of Mombasa. Because of the railways. Because of all those things, right? So all of these are capitalist infrastructure to enrich the rich. But as we think they do something for us, you can't build a road on the woman's part. Come on. That made no sense. That made no sense. If you want to develop your national bourgeoisie, which is really Ruto's project, then assume it. Tell us. Don't tell us you've been a hustler. Don't tell us you've been struggling ABCD. We know hustlers. We've been struggling. We've seen what it looks like. The people of the street, they knew. Many deaf. How many deaf people?
but-
Now Kenya look like Congo. What is that? Kenya, a strong country like this. Now he goes in bed with the Americans when all Africa refuse Americans. The Nigerians, the Ivorians, a lot of people, Guineans, Malian, Burkina, they say, no, we don't want those type of interference. We want our dignity back. We want our independence, our autonomy. But Kenya does what? Kenya goes to the US and parade like, in America itself. We're not saying America is worse or better than China or Russia or France. We're not saying anything like this here. What we say is that you need to have a lot of partners so you can discipline your national bourgeoisie. Otherwise, what they do is enrich themselves and spend their money in Singapore, China,
who are these bourgeoisie you keep mentioning,
You know
comrade?
them, they go shopping in Dubai.
Hey,
You know them.
And some of the bourgeoisie you're talking about that are disturbing Africa are from your own country.
They are spending money. They are taking the money here. They make their money system. They go spend it in Dubai, in Paris, in Washington. They get the slave queens. Like, by the way, there's a lot of stories about Ruto and slave queens. Apparently, the Kenyans are talking. Don't think they don't see what you're doing. Don't think they don't see what you're doing. It's a problem. Ruto is trying to tax his own people, right? To raise money so he can develop infrastructure that will serve capitalist interest and at the end national bourgeoisie interest. That is the only goal, right? If you want to develop your national bourgeoisie with the beautiful infrastructure that goes on Instagram, go for it, cool. But tax your national bourgeoisie. Don't tax your people.
The
Your people
poor.
are already being. The people in the street are already struggling. You haven't delivered anything to them. You can deliver new terminals, new airports, new roads, but you don't deliver anything for your people. The only thing you do is inflation, rising the price of food, rising the price of fees. School fees have tripled 3 times. That means what? Only the national bourgeoisie will have access to education in the future. That's what they want. That's what the youth are in the street because they haven't understood. They haven't understood that.
Now, when you talk like you like that, you look like you're supporting what has happened in Kenya. But then you need to realize that if you let that kind of behavior, that hooliganism happen in Kenya and succeed, you are building a very, very dangerous terrain for Africa. If you are saying Kenyans, for them to speak to be heard, they must come and ban parliament. They must ban Uganda House. That's what has happened, and you are supporting. You are saying the Kenyans have spoken. Kenyans also spoke on the voting day. Now you are saying they have spoken again. They are legally and constitutionally they are supposed to speak every 5 years through the ballot paper. So if you let this go on and legitimize it, let me tell you, you are supporting a semblance of what is happening in DRC, South Sudan, and Sudan. So even when we disagree with Ruto, you must be civil.
So definitely attacking the parliaments and the presidency might sound like radical, because it is radical in the spectrum. But we need to remember who lighted the fire. We need to remember how the fire was lighted. Kenyans have given time to Ruto to implement what he talked about. What did he do? He traveled the world, he went left and right, he paraded in Washington, but then Kenyans inflation raised up. People are suffering now. People are eating less. There's less calories in their bodies physically. So they're supposed to wait 5 years. They're supposed to wait 5 years of inflation to say inflation was not okay. But then in 5 years, what will happen? Those politicians will come out with money, they will come out with techniques. Winning an election is an easy game. It's an easy game if you have money. The problem is with money now, you can win elections. Okay, you need to be a good politician and all of this, but you can win elections. But then behind, you need to keep people accountable. Government need to be kept accountable, not only from the polls, also from the street. And the Constitution of Kenya says that. The Constitution of Kenya respects marches. Kenyan president himself has said no extrajudiciary killing anymore. He said that in his campaign. 27 people killed officially. People are speaking of 18. How does that make sense? No, the problem is, I agree with you that we need some form of stability and peace to develop. And the Kenyans, but the type of right way that Ruto is putting Kenya in is going to be right.
Yeah, but we can disagree to agree, but with civility. You see, what they are calling Gen Z, Generation Z, in my opinion, in my observation, they have developed a sense of too much entitlement. That what you want now should be done right now, and should be done as you wish. That Generation Z, that Gen Z. If you let them behave like that, my friend, you have burned down a parliament. That parliament, your Generation Z, you never built it. That parliament was built hundreds of years ago by your own great-grandparents. The Dedan Kimathi fought for the independence of Kenya and so on. That sweat was put down in a day. You're not building the country. When you look at the generation, the Gen Z that has commanded what has happened in Kenya,
I have to say,
how many of those have greatly contributed to the development of Kenya? It is not them. They are young people. They have not done so much. And I don't say that they shouldn't.
Wait a second.
But,
Now,
but,
say that.
no,
You
no,
can't
no,
say,
no.
no,
My-
they have done.
let me finish my point, my brother. At that, as young as they are, they have not done as much as their great grandparents. So, for you to say we need better, you need to build on what your grandparents have left, not by banning. So by banning, you are simply saying we need to start afresh. How do you start afresh when actually you cannot even do 0.1% of what your great grandparents have done so far?
Okay,
So that level of so much self
we need to remember one or two basics. Kenya is attracting a lot of foreign investment, right? Much more than before, isn't it? Why does foreign investor come? Because Kenyans are 80 years old? No, 80 years old don't consume. Because Kenyans are 60 years old? No, 60 years old don't consume. If all that money comes to Kenya right now to Ruto for him to organize, it's because the country is young and people believe that those young people are going to become middle class and consume. Right? And so if the country, if Ruto has the chance to be in power and to receive that amount of money to organize the development of his country, it's because his country is young. If his country was like Japan, that was like 45 or 60 years ago, they wouldn't have that much investment. So the money that comes in Kenya is also because the country is young, which is also a success of the father and the grandfathers that have made kids and have grown the country, that have grown children, that are educated and that are responsible. Now when it comes to this idea that there would be a generation Z, that's a really funny idea. That's a really funny idea that to think it's so you see, in the world we're living, there's a lot of money that is put in shaping ideas, shaping terms, shaping words. And now we use those words thinking those are the words that we have to use. What is the common point between the Japanese that is born in 1998 or a Korean in Seoul and the guys that are born that is born in 1998 in Islam in Nairobi? Nothing. They have nothing in common. They just born the same year, but saying that they are the same, it's fake. They don't watch the same thing online. They don't use the social network the same way. They struggle actually to have access to those type of things. They represent themselves differently. There's no such thing as a generation Z. Here, I don't buy this. This is only to make us feel like generations are similar. The reality is class is what matters. The son of the bourgeois, the son of the rich, is not going to have the same life as the son of the poor, right? He's not going to have the same life as the son of the mechanic, for instance. The guys that has the big 4x4, the big Land Rover, is not going to have the same life as the son of the mechanic that repairs his cars, right? So speaking of a generation that would be homogeneous is not true. There is part of Kenyans that are right now being attacked by a law that is unfair, that is here to please foreign investors and foreigners, right? Americans, French, IMF, all those people that lend money to Kenya, they say, no, you guys don't tax enough the country. So we want you to tax more, so we can give you more loans after. We can respect those agreements. But really, like, the youth become the scapegoat. And if we let that type of program happen, what we're going to have is a situation where the rich are going to be much more powerful and the poor less and less powerful, less and less. They won't be able to negotiate less and less. If you have experienced inflation for 5 years, your bread have double price, okay? Your bread have double price. Now politicians come for an election, Ruto for his re-election in 3 years, right? Because you said we have to work for election. Ruto come for election in 3 years. He gives you 20K. You're gonna take them. You're gonna take them and vote for him because you have made the situation so bad that now you are dependent on him. So yes, we need to respect election. Yes, going to burn parliament on the day it's a bit too much. It's not he might not. He must not portray the country properly and also doesn't respect the history of the institutions. But we should also remember that when the people are attacked, they have the right to answer.
Defend themselves.
Exactly.
Once attacked, you have the right to defend yourself.
You have. And now if you the price of people for food, you understand if you're Kenyan, now you thought you're gonna have 5 kids, you can afford 2. You go to university and all of this. Why do they do that? Why do they want people outside of the education system? So then they take the money during the election and they listen to the lies of, hey, we are hustlers, hey, we are like you, blah, 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 hey, I support what. No, my brother, you are the national bourgeoisie. You enjoy your nice life. Your life and my life have nothing in common because you take your money from me. Simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Fort Porter. We came here, just, you know, to happen, have some good time with the comrade Lesaffre Thomas from France. He is my brother. I had to bring him home, see home, and so this is how it goes. We just ideas just pop up, and when they pop up, we put up our camera and we sit down
And we think
have
of
an
the people
engagement.
here.
Pan-Africanism.
The people are listening to us. We think
Yeah.
the people we are safe.
Yes, it was not Ruto. So Ruto should remain.
Ruto should stay in power and change his politics. And we fight inflation.
You began by saying Ruto must go. Now you're saying you should. Have you been brave already?